Okay, here we are again. I don't know what happened. My laptop turned off and I lost the video recording. So this is part 3 of 25th of March 2024. Oh dear goddess, it's getting ridiculous, people. I'm trying so hard to achieve my little forays and truth-telling and exposés and life l'chaim. I am trying hard. I don't know where that video went. I hope it's not completely bloody lost. May have to redo everything from scratch if it is. But anyway, here we go. 25th of March 2018, Altered Beast, Power Up. Then later I wrote, I had a very intense and magical week. In spite of my personal horror story, I reclaimed my mojo, even with squeezing, angry, strangling lungs and a broken heart, and pushed myself into turbocharged overdrive to live my life the only way I know how to, ebulliently. Also, that's who that truck was. It's the whippersnapper man that didn't whippersnapper for about 3 months all through the heat of summer. Odd. They finally got with the program, for which I'm glad, because it's just looked awful. They left me sitting here in a mess for months. Anyway, it's being dealt with now. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Life is so wonderful. Anyway, I continue writing, knowing the only way I know how to live, ebulliently. Dangerous, but worthwhile. I was shown much love and sweetness from both friends and strangers. I was uplifted, strengthened, and protected. Love flowed from my cracked light like a streaming, dreaming consciousness. An extraordinary beauty is inside me and all around me. Day 3 of prednisone. That says it all, babies. Ugh. But my lungs are improving a bit more each day. Prednisone makes me euphoric or mad. It's not good, people. Instead, my sinuses are playing up, but that is just my body driving out the invaders of my system. Actually doing a very good job too, for a change. We've been doing such shitty whippersnippering. When they did finally do it, it was like, you might as well have just gone at a quiet flog in some public toilet somewhere, because you didn't even do the job properly. So Mama T is pleased he's doing the job properly. Get on the jobby, boys. Do it. If you're going to do your work, do it well, or don't bother turning up to work at all. I can't stand negligence and incompetence, says she, who's on to 3 parts of the fucking videos because things keep falling apart around the seams. So I'm being a hypocrite now. But no, do your best work. Take pride in it, whatever it is you're doing. Oh well. Loving life, living life, going with the flow even in the turbulent maelstrom, catastrophic emotional dumps. Not the woman I used to be, not quite sure who I am becoming. Hopefully healthier, happier, peaceful, and surrounded by real, authentic love inside and all around me. Byron Bay is calling. Might take myself to Byron Bay in my birthday week for a treat. Haven't been there in 4 years. It's been calling me for some time. I love you, Byron Bay. Wait for me, my darlings. In the meantime, I rejoice in my sacred space garden with my animals, grateful and satisfied with my lot. Hold the salt, please. Isn't that interesting? I wrote that in 2018 on today's date. Not sure, quite sure who I am becoming. Hopefully healthier, happier, peaceful, surrounded by real authentic love inside and all around me. And 6 years later, here it is, babies. It's finally here. 25th of March 2017. At feast. Thanks, Karen. Oh my God. Yum. Feast was a restaurant. It does a big smorgasbord or buffet or type situation. I had an awesome night last night. This was 2017. Feeling loved, valued, cherished. I didn't say cherished. I just threw that in. Feeling loved, valued, appreciated, and adored. Grateful, happy, and amazed woman here. I have had 2 hours sleep. Pain in my leg is still awful, but that is what you get when you ignore sciatic pain and dance the mad dingo donga's dirge into the ground. The highlight of the night was when they played Nirvana and the Tanya went berserk. Charlie, I'm not trying to do off the shoulder today. Just stop stripping me bare, Charlie. Almost as good as my zombie conquest, smiley face. I wonder who was playing that night. Anyway, I had woken up, let the chooks out, fed the fish, smooched with Mushu who was on his way out to do what the Phillips clan do best, happy wanderers. Gave Charlie my fresh water. Gave Charlie some fresh water. I'm getting tired, I'm drifting out. Ooh, have to call myself back in. Get back in here, girlfriend. No time to disassociate right now. And let Bobo out to toilet himself in the garden. It's a beautiful, magical morning, and I feel beautiful and magical, even in my exhaustion. Oh. I don't have a family, but I do have wonderful wild friends who honour me with their kindness, generosity, and gorgeousness. 9:04 a.m. Boker Tov, Laila Tov, good morning and good night. I need to sleep some more or there will be mad paradigmical shifts and consequential adjustments, slippage of halos and cosmic consciousness. Okay, that was a stretch, but I know how my exhausted, supercharged brain can do strange things if I don't knock it back down and put it to bed. Just where Charlie's going, she keeps picking on me like this. My goodness, that's another one. Another one, Charlie. Ugh. Anyway, it's for the birds, people. It's for the rainbow lorikeets. 25th of March 2016. I posted an article on toxoplasmosis by New Scientist, and I responded, "Fuck my life," which I didn't spell that completely out, I just abbreviated it, but I'm not going to live in denial. Fuck my life means fuck my life. I don't shrink from the truth, people. Too many pussies have made me psychotic. I do love cats. The toxoplasmosis tells me so. But anyway, I really like the meme, the photo that they put with it. It's a pussy cat wearing driving goggles, driving the man's brain. Like, it's just, that's so clever. It's probably true, actually. Very true. Pussy purring and looking so satisfied. Pussy purring and looking so satisfied. Meow, 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 meow. Oh my God, I must stop that. Jared and I have a very bad trauma memory. Jared was invited to spend a German Christmas with me one year. German Christmas being, December 24. One of the many reasons why I avoid Christmas like the plague. But just to have, I think, a bit of a buffer, I couldn't deal with it. I said, Jared, please come to Christmas with me. I'm spending it with my mother and my father and Case, and I don't want to be alone with those people. Can you please come and support me? And uncharacteristically, he did. He actually did. He actually came along. But he he never ever spent a German Christmas with me or my family ever again. Because I have to laugh. It was insane, people. Oh, poor Jared. I love you, Jared. The things you've done for me are really quite astonishing. I'm not surprised you've burnt out and you kind of avoid my phone calls now. But anyway, we love each other. He's my brother. He's like a brother to me. He's my best friend. One of my best friends. But anyway, so I'm laughing hysterically. So I begged him, please come and spend Christmas with me at my family home, at my mother's home in Wellington Point, 19 Jellicoe Street, that fucking haunted, demonic, infested habitat. That's a whole other story I'll share with you one day. The Jesus. But anyway, so Jared lovingly agrees, to come with me and my children to have a German Christmas with my mother. Bear in mind I'm Jewish, never forget that. That's a salient fact too. So anyway, so we're sitting there. Mum's trying to force pork sausages on my kids and telling them that it's chicken sausages. So I'm really fucking triggered because I converted at 19, but I was raised on pork sausages. So Mama T knows a bit of pork when she sees it, right? So I'm yelling at my mother, stop giving your Jewish grandchildren pork sausages, and since when did you ever cook sausages up for Christmas dinner? This is an outrage in more ways than one, darlings. And Jared's like, what the fuck? So there was that. This is a woman they wouldn't take off the yes call list at Bait Or because she's my mother. They want to honour all the non-Jewish parents or even the converts because honour thy father and mother that thy days may be long upon the world, right? That does not apply for adult survivors of narcissistic parents, by the way. So anyway, get back to the Christmas event. So we're there having the German Christmas and, there's all sorts of goodies on the table, including what appeared to my mind to be pork sausages, but shh, don't tell the rabbi. But, I did fight her on that issue. It was a very important issue. Anyway, the next thing I know, my father and my mother, I don't know where Uncle Case was, he must have left the room. Or was he already dead? And I can't even remember what year that was. Maybe he'd already died. Anyway, but my parents weren't back together or anything like that, don't get me wrong. They just had this weird kinship and friendship, which was beyond fucking bizarre. That's why I have love addictions when they get going, people, because I think I got it from my mad father. He hated my mother, and yet he couldn't stay away from her. It was like the wreck of the Hesperus or a fucking train wreck. He loved to hate her, but he had to always be in her orbit, right? Well, my mother was very sexy and charismatic and alluring. I kind of get it. Guess if I was a man, I would have been in a state of perpetual arousal, if I'd fucked my mother too, maybe. Maybe that's why my love life is so crazy. I'm always trying to heal that aspect of lunacy that comes from my family of origin, right? But I'm projecting because my love life isn't crazy anymore because I'm not engaging with anyone. It's perfectly stable and I'm keeping track of everything and I'm waiting for the most beautiful, heartfelt, loving man to say, you're the one, Tanya, that I want to be with and I'm going to be loyal and faithful to you and we're going to give this a bloody good go and we're going to go for the long-term relationship and we're going to love each other so much that everyone around us are just going to be soaked in that vicarious love energy and they're just going to adore us and we'll adore each other and it's going to be beautiful. And maybe I'm fucked in the head from the toxoplasmosis in my childhood. But anyway, I'm going to rewind again, get back to the story, right? I'm everywhere today. I'm everywhere. But these are when my stories get more and more wondrous when I'm everywhere. So anyway, my darling Jared, who is my darling, my brother, platonic friend of 32 years now, is sitting on the couch and we're drinking and my mother and my father are on the other couch opposite from us and my daughters are, unwrapping. Yeah, it must have been early in our friendship when kids were still little, thinking about that memory now. I was thinking it was much later, but no, it must have been early. Because my mother actually, unbeknownst to me, was slipping Jasmine, who was only very little at that time, vodka leads out of her drinks. She's notorious for, she really was demonic. She used to get me drunk as a very young child too. I think that's why I can handle Jack Daniels and drink it all night long and it doesn't affect me. Because my poor fatty liver, had to adapt to that at a very early age. It's an evolutionary adaptation. Anyway, thank the gods, I never became an alcoholic or an addict, apart from my love addictions and my chocoholism, but my love of sweets and candy and cakes and biscuits. But anyway, so motherfucker number one and mother of the recipient of the fuckery number two are sitting on the couch, pissed as chooks, right? Jared and I are quietly observing in observer mode because we're probably in varying states of trauma processing. The kids are happily oblivious, unwrapping all their German Christmas presents. They were spoilt lavishly, my kids. They wanted for nothing. But, that was me compensating for the fact that I was raising them amongst so many toxic, evil, fucking perverted people that I was just spoiling them lavishly because it brought me joy to spoil them, right? It's my love language. Digress. So anyway, Jared and I observing both my progenitors, and Jared and I had we had our own language. It used to piss Mum off. Mum would go, you two have your own language. She said, it's basically telepathy. She said, you don't even have to say a word. I know what you're thinking and saying, she would say to me. And I'd be like, oh, do you really? Do you really know what we're thinking and saying? And then I'd look at Jared and we'd just go, we'd just go. It was all done non-verbally, and I used to drive it batshit crazy. But anyway, we did have our own code. So I'm looking at Jared, and he's looking at me. Yeah. Next thing we know, my mother starts saying, meow, and my father looking at her lovingly, because let's face it, he did still kind of love her, even though they couldn't be together because they were both vitriolic and unstable and fucking wild and mad, and I guess they must have had good sex before I came along. My sister blamed me for causing the breakdown of their entire relationship. She said they were happily married, not that he was her father, but she had observed they were happily married till they fell pregnant with me. They were actually married for 11 years, not 8 years. They split up when I was 8 years old. But she said everything was fine for the first few years. So I guess the sex must have been amazing between them, thinking about it, because they had this sort of unresolved passion that would even come out like decades after their divorce, the separation divorce. So anyway, Mofo 1 and Mofo 2, and yes, I can talk about my parents like that. I know it's disrespectful to certain sensibilities, but unless you walked in those moccasins, you've got no freaking idea how mofo they really were and are, wherever they are in this small corner of hell now. Anyway, Mofo 1 and Mofo 2 look at each other and Mum starts going, meow, meow, meow. Jared and I just look at each other, not a word said between us. So Mum's gauging our reaction, knowing that we've got our unspoken way of going, we need to get out of this shithole, it's getting weird, people. I actually apologised to him after. I said, I will never make you endure German Christmas with my progenitors ever again. I'm so sorry you were put through that. But I didn't know that they were going to go so mad on me. So they're sitting there going, meow, meow. And my father was replying, woof, woof. And Mum would be like, pretending to be a cat, meow. And he'd be like, woof. But they did it deliberately to freak Jared and I out. They were that malevolent. They were demonic, hell-ridden sprites. They really were. So I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, either they're really pissed or I'm really pissed, or this is one of my psychedelic dreams but I'm lucid and I'm awake, or I've gone psychotic, or they've gone psychotic, which I think they had, under the influence of copious cups of vodka. I just looked at Jared and I went, so anyway, it just got, at one point, Jasmine started crawling all over the floor, and then I realised she was drunk. I said, what's wrong with you, Jasmine? Ah! Crystal started acting a bit drunk too. So I looked at my malevolent evil, because I would not have given alcohol to my children, because there is a history, people, of how I was raised. So I looked at her, I said, what have you been slipping into their drinks? Oh, nothing. I went, my children are drunk. How did they get drunk? And Mum was just like, I don't know. I know nothing. Yeah, that was the worst fucking Christmas. With one of the worst, and there were quite a few horrible Christmases. That was one of the worst Christmases that I had ever endured that happened, affecting my own children. So after that, I said there will be no more spending Christmas with Umi. We'll be making an excuse from now on, which was very, very difficult to do because she was very domineering and controlling and demanding. So, but yeah, the highlight of that year, that Christmas that year, was them barking and meowing at each other, which I don't know what that. Maybe that was their own private language of foreplay or something. Who the fuck knows? My parents were both bonkers, high functioning bloody lunatics. They were, you know. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. I was triggered by joking about the toxoplasmosis pussycats and Kitty purring and looking so satisfied. Yes, that was the trigger. But anyway, it's 1:11 p.m. Make-A-Wish, people, those of you who like to bemusedly keep track of the angel synchronicities that happen to me with astonishing regularity, but are really just, I happen to be still on the computer and I'm flowing in the space-time continuum and time is going by, and life is weird but wondrous and magical and beautiful. And did I mention meow? Anyway, I continue reading. Good men and women died on both sides of the war to end all wars. That was World War One, by the way. It was supposed to be the war to end all wars. Such a horrifying waste of youth and potential. I remember them. All those who died for a political regime or an ideology that brought no peace or safety for generations. Now it's another strange kind of war going on, a war against the soul of humanity. My heart aches for all those humans who died on the battlefield or in concentration camps or in horrific bombings. It is incumbent on us all, on all us surviving generations, to create a safer, saner world for all of us to enjoy. And I do mean that from the bottom of what's left of my soul, people. No money until Tuesday. I need to run amok and can't afford food or drink. 2 eggs today, so that will make a pancake. I won't starve, but I am sure as shit, sick to death of this existence. What she says all these years later still goes, by the way. Dear Goddess. Well, look at the parenting I had and what they stole from me even in adult life. It's appalling. It's just appalling. It's no surprise that I couldn't get off the fucking ground and establish myself again. Never mind. I'm enjoying my life now, and I'm enjoying every moment of every day, and I'm happy. I'm choosing to be happy, my darlings. I continue on. I wonder how much longer it will go on. 21 years of poverty. Fuck it. Try 29. Fuck it even more. Meow. Oh my goddess. Happy Purim, happy Easter, happy Ishtar. May the gods of your understanding bless you with happiness, safety, peace, prosperity, good health, and beautiful, true, enduring love. May we triumph over adversity and know goodness, compassion, mercy, and bliss for the rest of our lives. May light shine in our hearts, minds, souls, and eyes. May the light be good, kind, abundant. May those who choose to live with hate, perversion, envy, and terror be brought to justice. May we learn that love is the only force in the universe that creates and perpetuates on the Gilgulim. Gilgulim is the wheels of destiny, the cycles of life and death and reincarnations. The wheel of fortune in the tarot deck, the wheel, the constantly spiralling wheel. May love find us worthy, amen, sister, and enable us to become greater people who bring joy and comfort to those in dark places. May our love be a blessing and not a burden or a terrible sacrifice, but bring clarity, healing, and joyfulness. May it blossom and permeate with a supernal fragrance, and may it taste of ambrosia and freedom. May it be now. And I wrote that in 2016, and here we are, 2024, and I'm tasting the ambrosia, and I'm being loved in such a way that I still feel free, which is very important to me and life affirming and life enhancing. I need to feel free and to be trusted and valued and adored. I need that in my life. If my freedom is impinged, I literally chew my arm off and I'm out of that situation faster than you can say meow, because there is a history, darlings. Pussy purring and looking so satisfied, but if I have to, I'll kick that cat away from me with its toxoplasmosis quietly eating away into my brain. But I love cats. I loved my dog and I loved my cats and I loved my bird. And I love humanity when they're not being weird and fractious and awful. And I love our planet, probably more than humanity. And I love the gods and I love the cosmos. And I love the Holy One and all manifestations. And I love me. It's taken me a long time to fully integrate and love me after my fucked up childhood. I think I'm there most of the time. Sometimes I fall apart at the seams because I'm only mortal, but anyway, I think I'm finally riding my chariot with great triumph over oppression and great dignity. And I'm happy. Even though I'm alone, I don't have a love partner, and I'm alone most of the time, I'm happy. And when the day comes that I'm no longer alone, and I have a beautiful man by my side, truly deeply loving me and sharing his life with me in all aspects, I'll be happy then too. I'll be a little bit frickin' euphoric and delirious and astonished, but I'll be happy then too. I've reached a point of sanguinosis when I can be happy no matter what circumstances surround me. And that, my friends, is the most powerful healing and magic of all. 25th of March 2015, 3:04 a.m. I better hit the hay. I have a debrief with my psychiatrist tomorrow, Arvo. Lots to tell him, not enough time. I'll save the best condensed stuff for him. And here's that photo, title photo that I had up on the top of this page. But here's me with my my daughter's rabbits, my grandkids, Ramon and Suki, who are also greatly missed. Great spirits they were too. Here I posted a quote by Michael Fiore, or is it Fiore? Digital romance. No matter what, once in your life, someone will hurt you. He's got no idea how many someones hurt me and tried to destroy me utterly. Not just once, baby boy, but white privilege and all. That someone will take all that you are, rip it into pieces, and they won't even watch where the pieces land. That's true. But through the breakdown, you'll learn something about yourself. You'll learn that you're strong, and no matter how hard they try to destroy you, that you can conquer anyone. And my response to that was, not once, too many times. Now I am so strong, I have to diminish myself a little to let anyone in. It's always refreshing to be loved without having to hide my finer aspects. And actually, here we are 9 years later, and I will no longer even diminish myself. I will not shrink myself. I will not hide myself. I will not belittle myself. I will not dehumanize myself. I will not beg for love. I will not grovel for love. I will not cut deals for love. If you love me, you will love me as a full-throttled warrior goddess, Tanya, being of light, and admittedly occasionally smite if I see something rotten happening in my presence. But you will love me in all aspects of my being, wholeheartedly and heart-centeredly and with goodness and good and pure intentions towards me. You will love me simply because I am the object of your heartfelt love and desire and sincere intentions, simply because I exist. I don't need to prove myself to anyone. I don't need to jump through hoops for anyone. I don't need to compete with any other female to attain a man's love. I refuse to do that, actually. Dave tried to do that to me. Did not go well for him, by the way. You either love me and you're with me because you choose to be with me because there's something about me that you absolutely value, cherish and adore, or you fuck off. It's that simple. You know, not that I can't be friends with people and have long-term friendships, but if it's a sexual dynamic, you're either with me and choosing me, or you're not. I don't do polyamory, and I don't do BDSM, and I don't do sadomasochism, and I don't do sadism, and I don't do cheating and lying and dishonour and disrespect. If you want to be my lover, or my preferences, I'm working hopefully one day to have someone in my life that actually wants a long-term partnership with me, then you'll have to love all of me and mean it and demonstrate your heartfelt intentions are honourable and sincere, and don't have to prove yourself to me, but you've just got to be, real and authentic and choose me. Well, anyway, in the meantime, as I say, I'm very circumspectly just sliding through life at the moment. My birthday's coming and something wonderful's coming to me. It's not about my birthday, it's just in general. I can sense something wonderful's opening up for me, and quite heartfelt and genuine, I think and I hope. And but I'm not in a hurry. I absolutely cannot afford to be lured into a false sense of fake love ever again. And I absolutely cannot afford to be deluded or, sell my own soul out for just the very idea of someone faking anything for me, because that makes me actually very, very ill when that happens. It's part of my surviving child sexual abuse, because I had my godfather who predated on me sexually from the age of 6 to 8, Funny how my jaw's aching just talking about that actually. He didn't predate on me sexually when I was a teenager, but it was an emotional incest. So he bought me my pony when I was 14, and with full approval of my mother, of course, because she's a fucking enabler. Oh, she was a piece of shit, really, my mother. And yeah, I defended her when I came to Brisbane and we were falsely accused of being Nazis. I defended her and fought for her right to come to temple with me and my daughters as their grandmother and my mother. I fought for my own mother, who was my own monster, more than once in my life. I wonder what that's about. I guess just having a narcissistic mother, you're always trying to gain approval and have them love you, right? They never love you. It's hopeless. But I had to learn that on the coalface too. But what was I saying? Oh yes, my paedophile godfather when I was 14, right up until I cut ties to him completely when I was 20. I didn't want him near. I was 19 when I got married, basically. But I didn't want him around me especially when I was pregnant with my daughter Crystal. I did not want him anywhere near me or my children for obvious salient reasons. But he had this emotional incest. It was no longer a sexual incest, but it was. He would constantly say to me, "Do you love me? Tell me you love me. Oh look, I'm cooking you puddings for you. Cook puddings for me, meals for me." And so a lot of that debauchery was tied up with survival and food too. It was very fucking crazy, people. My childhood was very disturbing, and but I've had years of therapy, so I can admit that to myself and talk about it now. But it was many years when I repressed all those memories, right? But anyway, he said he was constantly at me. Do you love me? Do you love me? And I'd have to look at him, and I would literally have bile in the back of my throat, feeling like I should actually vomit. But to keep safe and to keep equilibrium and to keep the family dynamic all rolling along sweetly and stably, because I was dependent as a child and as a teenager, I was dependent on living with these fucking maniacs for my survival, right? My Maslow's hierarchy of basic survival. So I would lie and say, oh yes, I do love you, Uncle Trevor. Yes, I do love you. But then the back of my head, I was thinking, I hope you fucking die soon, you fucking bastard. So this is why, even now at this late stage of life, if I tell someone I love them, I actually mean it, or I won't say it. If I don't heartfelt, genuinely feel loving feelings towards a person, you will never get me to say I love you. I might say, oh, I admire you, or I respect you, or you have some very wonderful qualities that I like about you, but I won't say I love you unless it's real, because it's a hangover from my childhood and all that distortion of what should have been safety and real and true and protective and nurturing love between a godfather and his goddaughter, and between, my de facto stepfather case and my own biological father and my mother. I was surrounded by fucking enemies as a child. I was surrounded by them right up until they all started popping their clogs by natural attrition. And it really was only then, after they've all fucking died, that I finally reclaimed my life, people. You know, my mother's been dead 14 years. It's taken me that long to get back into my own seat in my own chariot and take back control over my own life and work out who really loves me and who's genuine and who I heartfeltly believe and hope are genuine and who's not. Which is why, if you ever see me having a massive breakdown, which I happen quite regularly, still happen fairly regularly, which is why I'm still in therapy after 25 years, most of the time that breakdown will be precipitated by discovering that someone I love or put a lot of energy and time into, deeply loved, has played me false. That includes friends, lovers, potential suitors or potential lovers, business associates, you know, any group I'm in where someone will suddenly turn like a rabid dog for no fucking reason that I can identify, that will give me a massive breakdown to this day. I'm very fragile about things like that because I grew up like that, constantly, with people faking love and being debauched and undermining and invalidating and downright fucking dangerous. So, but I'm older and I'm wiser and I love my life now. I've come back from a long, long sleep of zombieism for 30 years, 15 of those on heavy psych meds, and I'm back, and my 59th year is going to be the most loving, wondrous, beautiful year of all, because I will make it so, not imposing my will on other human beings, but just being grounded in my own heart, mind, space, soul, you know, integrity. I will keep living and loving as powerfully as I've always done, but I will reserve my energies only for those who genuinely demonstrate by their actions, thoughts, deeds, heartfelt wishes for me that they are capable of loving me back. No more fake love affairs like I had with Dave and a few other entities at that casino years ago. True heartfelt friendships and or true heartfelt, passionate, loyal, faithful love partnerships, or nothing. Either way, I can't lose because I'm perfectly okay being on my own. I've been on my own for 29 years, and in truth, even when I was married to my husband, I was alone most of that time. I birthed my babies alone while he was actually abusing me at the Wellington Women's Hospital, so they sent him home while I was birthing Crystal, by the way. I birthed my babies writhing in agony, alone, terrified as a very young mother, knowing that I wasn't safe with any of them, that I was going home to an unsafe environment, by the way, and then had the added burden of having to raise another human being that was dependent on me for their survival. It's actually no wonder that they've abandoned me and we're estranged because, you know, all those cumulative complex traumas and me trying to be fucking superwoman all the time, even as a young mother, affected their psyches too, I suppose. You know. But it doesn't matter now. As my friend Scott said to me on Saturday night, he said, you've raised, how did he put it? He put it in an unusual way. I'm trying to remember how he said it. You've raised two autonomous beings that are responsible for their own lives. Sort of, that's how I interpret it anyway. It's words to that effect. You've raised them and now it's kind of up to them now. And he's right. They're 38 and 36. Their lives are their own. They've got a seat in their own chariot and ride their own pony and live their own dreaming and be happy in their own isness and beingness. I was merely the vessel of their birth, and basically I mean fucking nothing to them, and it hurts, don't get me wrong. I'm on the brink of tears just saying that, but Mother Hydra's babies are worming their way into their little fucking brains as we speak, and it's another kind of stolen generation, another kind of an aberration, but this time it's fucking global. It's not just the indigenous peoples having their children stolen out from under them, thrown to pedophiles and abusers. It's fucking bioengineered stealing of life force, chi, and cognition and intellect and ability to create and think clearly and keep your soul intact. So I've just fucking worked out in the process of this video, people, what the two suggestions in recent days about me having stolen something is about. The zeitgeist, the stolen vigour and health, the stolen soul loss. It's not me that's stolen it, babies. I've stolen nothing from anyone. I gratefully receive what's bestowed upon me physically, financially, materially, spiritually, emotionally. Gratefully receive joyful acquiescence and acceptance of all the gifts bestowed upon me. I don't need to steal. Never have I been a thief. So, stealing is of another metaphor for our stolen, perfect lives of safety and equilibrium and trust in health professionals. By the way, I'm still astonished that when I finally took my sorry ass to see the GP, my relatively new GP who I haven't been to for about a year, I only went because I needed to get scripts for Ventolin and Seretide. I can see he's an honourable, decent human being, because when he asked me if I wanted a booster, I said no. I did not participate in that programming, and I think you'll find, Doctor, that I've been vindicated and validated for that stance. And he bowed to me. He bowed to me, which is a cultural show of respect from his background. And then I realised I've been very fearful of going to him or any doctor. I've been very distrusting. I realised by that small action, He's a beautiful man, and he acknowledged that I was right. And God's only know what he's witnessing on a daily basis now as a general practitioner, the fallout. So yes, Mama T has reached a new phase of her life where she is respected and honoured and cared for and trusted by most people, but apparently I'm not trusted with orbital Sanders or gold diamond bracelets, so what the fuck is that? But by and large I'm trusted, and I'm treated with great honour and respect by people who are educated enough and wise enough to know that I was right all along because of my backhanded gifts from my weird ass fucking parenting, 5 caregivers that couldn't provide me safety since infancy, by the way. Mama T, who didn't even realise she was a shaman until recent years, was in denial about that too, by the way. Anyway, I can finish out my life with a degree of satisfaction because I know how hard I fought on social media, in my own spirit, trying very hard to protect my friends and family who were all mass formation psychotic and didn't listen to me. But I tried. I tried very, very hard, did my best. So I have a certain element of peace in that I did try. Anyway, I'll continue reading because we need to focus on our present, and from our present we create our future, and we need to build back a better paradigm, a better life force that's not stolen from our very own children and grandchildren, by the way. 25th of March 2014. Last night I couldn't sleep. This happens when I overexert myself by dancing and get re-triggered with some of my PTSD issues. That should read C PTSD because it's complex trauma from a prejudicial childhood. Issues by Idiot Men, 2014. I wonder what Idiot Now I was referring to there. There were two that I was involved with that year. Isn't that ironic? So ho-hum, my issues. So I decided to handle it, baby. So I got out of bed at 4 a.m. and watched an episode of Ghost Adventures. Of course you do. When you can't sleep and you're traumatised, watch something even scarier. It's a nice distraction. That's how my brain works, people. It's a classic effect of CPTSD survivors. It's we all like to watch horror because nothing is as horrifying as our own lived experience as children. Sad but true. It was kind of cool but creepy to be watching it in the early hours of the morning, alone on my couch with a dose of sleep deprivation, i.e. mild psychosis, lol. So I took another Seroquel, which I was hoping to not need last night, and basically just chilled out watching spooky stuff. Then hit the hay around 6 a.m. I slept so soundly, thank God, that I was woken by Gail and Christina at 3:30 p.m, who came around for a cuppa. Boy, now my V8 motor of mojo, sparked up energy, is ready to go out and play. It's Tuesday night. I could go listen to Woody play solo tonight. Woody's one of the musicians that plays for Burst, which his band's called Burst. Woody Woodman, who plays at Irish Murphys, and I used to go and listen to him during the week sometimes because I was at a loose end. I'm alone, had nothing else to do, nothing else to look forward to. So I'd go out and listen to music and dance, have a nice time, go home exhausted and sleep better sometimes. Unless I launched myself into hypomania when I over-exercised and over-danced. But I feel great. I feel really great this week. It's Monday. I'm astonished because I was so exhausted Saturday night driving home. I worried that I might actually fucking crash my car. I mean, I didn't. I drove very carefully, but I was expecting a full meltdown for the next 3 days. I feel great. I mean, I'm a little bit tired, but overall I feel great. So something's shifted in my spirit. Something powerful has shifted. It's astonishing. And spirits in my ear telling me, don't fret about having shared all your trauma memories and all that sordidity and filth and horror on YouTube. Don't fear that the man you love will be put off by all of that. They're saying to me, this is probably my own wish, you know. They're saying to me, he will love you even though you're a survivor and a warrior goddess. He will love you even though you're broken and you've reconfigured and rebuilt yourself from dozens of ground zeros. He will love you in all aspects of your being wholeheartedly and will choose you and will be proud and happy to have you as his partner and on his arm in public and in private, and he'll be proud and happy to have you in his arms and make love with you. He'll be proud and happy to spend every spare moment he has by your side, being a friend, a life partner and a companion, because he will love and honour all of you. He won't hold your childhood or your past against you with malfeasant, evil fucking men. He will be the man you've been praying for and hoping for and dreaming of and wishing for all your life. Thank you, Spirit. I hope that's true and not another deception and a delusion. I do hope that dream comes true. That person manifests in my life from now and into the future together. I'm looking forward to that happening. I don't know who it is yet, and I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'm looking forward to it. Strange car just pulled up, but sometimes it's Uber drivers, so delivering food and that, not to me, but to other people. Anyway, I carry on reading. Yeah, so anyway, so what I was saying, I went around on my little cycle there, my little bicycle ride there. is yes, it is someone delivering groceries or something. So I used to dance for Woody Woodman of Burst fame, and yeah, did that for about 2.5 years that I was in that Irish Murphys environment that turned rancid and toxic and evil. Oh well, no regrets, darlings. What you don't know, you don't know. If I'd known, I would never have put myself in that situation, but it's what life's like, isn't it? Got to ride through all the storms. Here I write, however, I have decided to let my body and mind get back into syncopated resonance instead of dissonance and take a break for a few days. Friday is going to be huge. So I need to restore my 0-point magnificence for them. I feel fantastic. This is not my normal people, but I am going with it. Isn't that cute? 10 years I was feeling fantastic then. I must say, last Friday night, the men at the pub, several actually, were acting very romantic around me. They were actually being sweet and non-threatening, which made a lovely change. I know it's because I was wearing my corset and gypsy skirt. Australian men seem to find it so intimidating, albeit enchanting, that they actually behave themselves around me. On Saturday night, I was completely wild and danced like a whirling dervish on acid. I don't do acid, people, but it's poetic hyperbole, you get my vibe. I dressed in a rockabilly dress and looked very feminine, but kinda edgy still. Still got that dress actually. Might wear it next weekend, see how I feel. However, the man who was so romantic on Friday night, one I had hopes of being a suitable partner down the track, decided to try to headfuck me. So, next, we all know who that was, don't we? The unspeakable creature. Never mind. Love is the law, people. I had a great night dancing and wore myself out to the point of collapse. As I do. I considered I may have been too hard on my new potential friend and or lover. But no, I must stick to the 3-strike rule. He struck me out twice, and I'm not really interested in going for the 3rd strike, as I can see he is playing me. Perhaps he is testing me also, but that will not do him any good. I am not like other women. I am direct, honest, intelligent, and, by the way, transparent. You could see through me like cellophane, people. No, you don't even need to hold cellophane up against me. Just need to pay attention to my videos and you can see how transparent I'm being. And so damaged by psychopaths, which is unfortunate but true, that my psychopath radar is very, very sensitive. So far, he has had my radar twanging out to the galaxy. He is not a full-on psychopath. just a bit ambivalent, scared, and a rebounder. So like the last rebounder I attracted last April, what is it with this time of year? A complete repeat pattern, meeting a guy only 4 months separated. Another fucked up man who wants me to heal them. Grr. And by that they want sexual healing to use, abuse and discard. Which is why I really fucking hate rebounding men, because they're just so fucking parasitical, and for some reason they're drawn to me. And very often, they're playing the field, or they go back to their wife, and they just leave me feeling like trash when I didn't know what the real situation was most of the time, or I wouldn't have gone into it. It was really fucking awful what was done to me, up to and including that one as well. So I write here, if I was a real berserker Viking back in, 800 AD, I would have just got a sword and lopped off his fucking head, because that's how useless he is to humanity. But ironically, when the COVID epoch started, and they started with the intense shilling and brainwashing, even though he was technically an enemy of mine, because he really utterly destroyed my heart, I rang him. This is the calibre of my love, darlings. I rang him and I said, don't participate in that programming. I'm warning you, keep yourself safe. That is the measure of my shamanistic capabilities. Trying to save a man who had no genuine heartfelt intentions towards me ever, and should have been locked off. So, when all's said and done, I'm a very, very, very good woman. Very, very loving woman. And that was one of the ways I actually discovered that about myself. Not bad for someone who'd been told all her life that she was worthless and insane and dirty and stupid, and by my own family of origin, by the way, and the husband and the eventual lovers after my divorce that came along all tried to really destroy me. But here I am. I've outlived you, I've outshone you, I've outdanced you, I've survived all of you, and I am in a perpetual state now of thriving, even if it's only in my own mind and in my own. She's really copped me beauty. And in my own body, mind and spirit, people. And it wasn't simple, it wasn't easy, it was a long, long, hard battle. And I will carry on, soldiering on, living my best life until the day I actually do finally die. I've decided. My star has risen, and it's my turn now to be truly greatly loved, respected and cared for, and treated with honour and integrity, romantically and passionately as well if I meet the right man. My star is shining bright and calling in the one to meet me as an equal, king to my queen. Wherever you are out there in the world, My sweet, sweet darling man. I will just let them play themselves out alone until they choose some other unsuspecting woman. So I'm thinking, as much as I like him for no good reason I can think of really, except he had the decency to follow through and pretend to like me for a while. Remember what I said earlier about feeling absolutely sick to my bowels of anyone who fakes love for me or demands that I fake love for them. Yuck. Lol. That it's time I went to Byron and soaked up their healing energies and looked after me for a while. Watching Vikings and loving it, I was not meant for this time or this world. Funny I mentioned the Berserker Viking thing a few minutes ago. Here it is, written about. Wow. Drinking tea, eating speculaas biscuits, which are a Dutch biscuit that have got cinnamon and nutmeg and really yummy. And dreaming of conquest. Love it. I had very intense dreams about my mother and sister. Still feel like I am in that nightmare. I have to shake it off. One is dead and the other is dead to me by her choice. She's a traitor. But dead sisters don't cry babies. So she actually handed me her own sword of Damocles. It's a great gift, no longer having to grieve a defunct relationship with a sibling. When they declare you dead, so be it. Be dead to them, and in that you shall reclaim your life force and your joy and your heart and your mama. The dream told me exactly that and talked about family secrets to be revealed. Interesting. I probably just dreamt of Angela as it is her birthday the day after mine, and our birthdays are looming. I will be 49, so the end of a cycle of 7, heralding the beginning of another one, and my half-sister of atrophied love will be 64. So here we are 10 years later. I'm about to turn 59. She's about to turn 74. It's astonishing, people, how time slides by like molten chocolate in a chocolate tower, perpetually dripping and regrouping and pouring itself out. I want to go la 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 because I do love chocolate. Don't know why I thought of that analogy just then. Maybe it was just the urge to go la 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 la. Fuck you, motherfuckers. You have to love. Anyway, here I continue to write. I have no regrets. She failed to protect me as a child and failed to defend me to the end of the will dispute in recent years. She is a cowardly fuck. She really is. Dead sisters who come to me in my dreams to remind me of how little respect and love they had for me can naff off. Shake, rattle and Rollo. Rollo at least yields to his warrior brother. laughing my ass off, and that is a reference to the characters in the TV show Vikings, Ragnar Lothbrok and his brother Rollo Lothbrok. And my friend Gail was madly in love with the actor who played Rollo. What was his name now? Clive Standen, I think it was. Oh, did I have to hear endlessly about Clive fucking Standen? And I said, Gail, he's not the pretty one. It's, what was the other actor's name? He is beautiful. He just starred in Boy Swallows Universe. He's an Australian. It'll come to me, it's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, I fancied him with his crazy, intense green eyes and his way of talking and sort of twitching his head a certain way. Oh, come on, people, help me out here. What's his name? He's a very good actor. Oh, anyway, she'd invite me over to her place so we could watch Vikings together, so we could just, get very titillated in our panties, or in her case, in her panties, because I don't carry on like a 15-year-old fucking girl over men usually. But anyway, the creaming of the panties was happening over the Clive Standen, and I, you have to laugh, and I'm like kind of looking at Ragnar, his name will pop into my head in a minute, and I'll be like, come on, Gail, what do you see in Rollo? She goes, what do you see in the other one? I went, oh, there you go. Love is in the eye, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. And anyway, it'll come to me, his name. It's a strange sounding name too. Oh well, never mind. I'll put it in the comments section later when I remember his bloody name. Oh my goodness, I can see him so clearly, standing there in his Viking costume. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Anyway, we carry on reading. Feeling frustrated. My best friend. Oh, Charlie, not again. My whole top's soaking wet now. Feeling frustrated. My best friend, who has been my friend for 22 years, is suffering. He was there for me in my business, when my marriage broke down, when I got a divorce. We spent 3 years apart, then resumed our friendship. He is my soul brother and has stuck by me for a long, long time. Even when shit got really hard for me to cope with my mother's death and the ensuing law dispute, which was 7th of March 2010 to 6th of September 2012, when I did a fair bit of acting out and was often suicidal and struggling with the maliciousness of that whole entire law dispute was fucking evil and putrid and should not have been allowed to be conducted in that way. It's government-sponsored attempts at murdering me yet again, by the way. But I fought through it. I got my small, petty little piecemeal, insulting and small inheritance. And then I carried on doing what I do best, going dancing, trying to push away the traumas, right? Been doing it for a long time. I carried on until 2015 when I couldn't carry on anymore and the gods vomited me back to earth because they want me to have my beautiful loving life with my beautiful soulful love partner who's I actually am starting to believe is actually coming, because I can see the absolute exponential healing that I've even done in the last 12 months. It's been intense, people. It's been wondrous. It's been like a rocket flying out into the heavens. It's been amazing. It's also been painful with the loss of my dog, but the rest of it's been just astonishingly amazing. So these are the signs showing me that my true lover man is either in my life now and I don't realise it because of the unavailabilities. I'm not saying it's that one. It's not fair to put that on people, but I'm just wondering. I'm wondering if it's someone I already know that's unavailable at this point in time. I don't dare get my hopes up because that's ridiculous. Or if it's someone that is available that I've been building walls against because of their intensity, which I spoke about in a video yesterday. Or if it's someone I don't even know yet, haven't met yet. Or if it's never going to happen and it's someone waiting for me in the spirit world when I transition this body. I think, you know what, to be honest, given my life history and traumas and all the ghastly horror, that's probably the most likely outcome, is that I'll never find anyone in this life and it'll happen when I leave this body behind and move into the light, if the gods allow me to enter the light, that is. Who knows what state I'll be in by then. And I'm smiling because I kind of know he's around me. I already know him and he's around me. I don't know who exactly it is, 100%, because I'm terrified that I make a mistake and get deceived and fool myself again. But whatever happens, whatever outcome happens, I know from my gods to my spirit, from the Ein Sof Ord down to Malkut and back up again, whatever happens, I will be okay because I'm integrated now and I know who I am and I'm lovable and worthy of a truly great, amazing, wonderful love partnership. I know what my worth is now and I'm holding on for it. And I'm happy, truly happy, which is astonishing, people. Anyway, just broke a nail, Charlie. Here we go. I'll repeat that again. It's powerful and poignant, painful, but it's reality. He is my soul brother and has stuck by me for a long, long time. Even when shit got really hard for me to cope with my mother's death and the ensuing will dispute. When I myself thought I would be better off dead, he still hung in there. My true friend, my brother. So any partner, that sexual love partnership that comes into my life, will have to get accustomed to the idea that I have a man friend who is a brother to me and not be jealous and threatened or envious, because there was never a sexual component to our relationship. You know, he's only ever been a loyal, loving brother to me, including that awful Christmas with my fucked up parents yowling like cats and living like dogs, for the love of God. Not too many people would have put up with that. Having a friend whose family was so disturbed and dysfunctional. I guess, to be fair, Jared used to sometimes derive a little bit of schadenfreude kind of humour and bemusement at it all, because it really was like watching a fucking reality show. And, if I could have turned my parents into a reality show, if I had the skills to film it and write a script, I would, because it would blow most people's fucking minds to see how creatively disturbed and akopic they really were, both of them, and the stepfather and the godfather. Oh dear goddess. Anyway, he has been there for me through several relationship breakdowns, deaths of both family and their outlaws, and my beloved pets. He's been there for me when I've been sad, when I've been happy, when I've been completely furious, when I've been placid as a kitten. He's been there for my elder daughter too, which he now tells me she barely makes contact with him anymore, which is disturbing, because often when we have our periods of estrangement, Crystal and I, she at least keeps in close contact with him, because he's sort of like a father figure to her, even though he's only 14 years older than her. They were and are very close. He's been a family member to me and my daughters for many, 32 years. So that disturbs me greatly that she's cut basically ties to him too, because that's not like her to do that. And I can't worry about it. She's 38, she's got to live her best life and make her own choices. But it's an anomaly, people, and confronting to my mind that she's distanced herself even from my friend Jared. Here I wrote, he would have been there for my younger one also if she had let us in. Speak of the devil, that's him now. Anyway, I'm nearly finished this video, so I'll carry on and I'll call them back. Today I realise he is no longer there for me, has shut me out of his world. This was back in 2014, wasn't it? And the only reason for him to do this is he has not been coping too well since his stepfather died. And I totally understand, as I suffered terribly when my original stepfather died, even though he had been one of my abusers. Grief does strange things to one's mind, but does it have to end long-term supportive friendships? When I was failing to cope with my first stepfather's death, this precious, beautiful friend shut me out of his life for 3 years, and I think it's happening again. And he does this from time to time, It's okay. We all need space sometimes. But here I'm like writing about it because I was freaking out. I don't know what to do. He says he's okay, but this is not okay. What have I done? So I was personalising it all. Why won't he let me be there for him like he has always, apart from that crazy 3 years so long ago, been there for me? Friendships are give and take through good and bad stuff. I am gaining my own power, not such a victim anymore as I was for many years. My former partner also abandoned me when I started living fully again and was no longer in bed for 20 hours a day. Why do the men and... Oh, Charlie. Why do the men in my life only want me when I am sick, grief-stricken, disabled, distressed and suicidal? Why can't they be around me for the good times too? Salient question, by the way. I will never understand it. Update, 25th of March 2022. A repeat pattern. Our friendship finally ended on 22nd of January 2022. I was very distressed at that point in time. We made it up again, because we always do, because we're fucking family and we love each other and we're good friends. I drive him mad sometimes, but you know, we are good friends, I think. Me trying to raise one eyebrow. I haven't had Botox ever I haven't had it yet, at all, ever. It's one that creeped out, but thought of it going into my bladder, right? But why is it that I can't raise one eyebrow? Hang on, try again. I really can't do it. It's another of my anomalies, people. Does it matter that I can't raise one eyebrow? You have to laugh. Anyway, poor psychedelic dreamer. She'll get there in the end, my darlings. She always does. She'll begin a new dream, start it all over again, till the next time she can't raise an eyebrow. Anyway, I write here, a repeat pattern. Our friendship finally ended on 22nd of January 2022. I deserve someone who wants to be around me when I succeed, even in my small pathetic attempts at life, and who returns my phone calls and treats me with basic respect. This is the part that was really distressing to me, okay? When he just completely ghosted me. He deserves someone who is not a burden to him and who he can love. And we're talking friendship love. Don't get me wrong, I'm not talking romantic here. Who he can love in all the ways he was unable to love me. Now, that does kind of sound dodgy, doesn't it? But I don't mean romantically, I mean respectfully. Return my calls, return texts. You know, I don't contact him as often as I used to. I've let him drift. You know that now, Jared, my darling. I let you drift. I'm letting you hang on your cobweb thread of life and drift. I only ring him on average once every 3 days, or, you know, once a week sometimes. Because he's busy. He's busy with his life, building his life, you know, creating. He's been very unwell, you know, with a health issue, and he's, you know, I've got to leave people. You have to let people have their space and live their own psychedelic dreaming. It's no good holding tight to people, because they'll hate you for it and you'll lose them. And I know this because I've done that to people who tried to hold me too tight and suppress and oppress and fucking depress me. Fuck, I hate that shit. Containing someone else's love and keeping them like a prisoner in their own mind, body and spirit. Full. Won't be happening ever again. So, I write here, it's all good. I'm recalibrating my life at long last. It's painful, but long overdue. Meaning that I was willing to completely let go and just move on. You know, sometimes when long marriages or relationships or friendships or business associations that have lasted decades, sometimes they just simply die a natural death and you have to grieve it and let it go. It's awful, but it's just part of life sometimes. Anyway, 1:42 a.m. Time for bed. I had a lovely day, visited Crystal as she borrowed my car, so I had to swap it back. but she took me out from Jackpot Noodles at West End and went to her class. Then I spent the evening on Paltalk and later listening to recordings on how to manifest what you want in life. Probably not worth my time, but it was interesting nevertheless. I have realised I pretty much have what I most want in life. My freedom, my daughter, well, we don't have that now, but never mind. This was 2014, people. My pets, don't have most of those anymore now. The ones who are still alive, thank God. The last remaining one, Charlie. Mummy's little birdie girl. Mummy's little baby girl. You're the last remaining pet. She goes, no, Mama, you forgot about the 2 goldfish that are still alive in the pond. Oh shit, I need to clean the filter. I was supposed to do it on Friday. It's now Monday. It's raining. I'll do it tomorrow. No harm will come from it being a few days overdue. But I just remembered I haven't done it. I usually do it on Fridays. Mama T's in Psychedelic Dreamers World. Yes, we've got to get back on the program. We've got to clean the fish pond filter. Yes, because we want them happy and healthy and happy, healthy, prosperous fishes. Yes, Mummy didn't quite forget about the goldfish, but I'm glad you reminded me, Charlie. Oh dear goddess. My freedom, my daughter, my pets, the ones who are still alive, thank God. My friends, my life, my present, and this huge, huge untapped love inside of me that I keep trying to hold in, as it's a tad dangerous to unleash it on the unsuspecting or the unworthy, laughing my ass off. So I don't need a partner to be happy, as I am pretty happy doing my own thing, and whenever I give a man half a chance, he gets avoidant or plays some fucked up mind game with me or heads for the hills or other women. So I'm pretty certain at this stage of my life that there is nothing much left for me to do but keep going out dancing, enjoying myself and my friends, and manifesting as much happiness as I can handle at any given moment in time, and just enjoy my unique oneness with the cosmos. This Friday I will be going to Sons of Anarchy evening with Gail, so that is just awesome. Saturday is Credence Cash Night at Credence Cash Night at Greenbank RSL. It's probably a tribute band doing Credence Clearwater or something. I don't know what that was. And perhaps later, the pub, meaning Irish Murphys in those days. Interesting times. They were indeed very interesting. 25th of March 2013. We need people in the world who are outstanding to tilt the world just a little, as it helps to keep society in balance. Attributed to Bob Geldof of the Boomtown Rats fame. But I like that quote. It's true. We need outstanding people to tilt the world just a little to keep society in balance. Kisses to all my beautiful, soulful, outstanding ones. 25th of March 2012. Last night, I'm hungry now. I'm really hungry. Last night I cooked an amazingly delicious roast chicken for Crystal, Jared, Miss Bella and I. It was so yummy. I wish I could get my cooking right every time, although I do think my culinary skills are improving. Sometimes they're complete disasters though, which Jared and Crystal used to have to kind of help me out a bit. I guess it depends on where I am mentally in any given day, I suppose. But I have been better the last couple of years about cooking nicer meals and not completely fucking them up. We had fun playing ukulele and singing songs. Bella loved my cooking so much she did a major mooch session. I gave her some more for lunch today. Happy full bellies now. I moved her because she's biting my fingers, being very naughty indeed. Look at this. Nibbling and chewing. Nibbling and chewing Mama's hands. Oh well, there you go. Anyway, thus concludes today's readings of Even Date, and although this is video number 3, it went on for 1 hour and 46 minutes. So I don't know how that's possible because the other videos were quite long too. Have I left my body? Am I dead? Am I in an alternate parallel universe? Are we even here? And other pertinent questions related to human existence on our 3D reality, regurgitated and presented in 2-dimensional reality on your YouTube video screen. I'm just fucking with our fragile little minds, people. Have a beautiful day, my gorgeous ones, my beloved ones, those who intrepidly sit through all my videos as my mind goes on weird little tangents and does little flips. And it's okay. We're okay. I love you all. Life is for the living. Hold your line. Stay true. Be happy. Love you, true beloved ones, even if it's only a very poopy birdie right now. And goodbye from Titania's realm and sacred space. Good swap fingers, Joe. Have fun. Stay wild, stay joyous, stay free. I love you all. Big agape love. I'm reserving my intimacy and passions for the one. And for the birdie too. Not that kind of, never mind. I don't even know what I'm talking about now. Have a beautiful day, people. I'll be back tomorrow, no doubt, with yet another journal entries, readings.